going, Big Dap?
Hey guys, how are you? I'm sorry I forgot to make it subscriber only, but I just did that. So any of you who have not subscribed and you want to join the chat, get yourself a drink and come back and come back in 20 minutes. You can just jump right on in. Okay, guys, how are you? I'm back like I said I would. So today I don't even want to go into detail about it, but there was a problem and sis had to fix it. So I had to re-upload my upload from this morning. So any of you that were like, wait a second, this is what's going on? That's what was going on. I'm sure you know what I mean. Like at the end of the day, girl, sis has to get her coins. Okay. And if it's not looking like it's supposed to, then I gotta do what I gotta do. Because it sometimes something weird happens at least once or twice a month, and we are too early in the month for me to be predicting and you know, and such. So I try not to bog you down with my problems because my problems are not your problems. But just know if I do something like that, there's a reason. So it's okay, right? Hey, Lulu. Lulu says she's finally catching a live. Yes, yes, I'm here. I'm live and it's nighttime. Um, I wanted to do some Jasmine and Live today, but because that happened, and then I'm like, live 3 times in one day, for me, that's a lot. So, because I do have other stuff I do. So, Pineapples, Gangstar, T Smiley, Gangstar, Live, Laugh, Love, Gangstars. Thank you guys for getting here first. I went and made myself a turkey sandwich because I was still a little bit hungry. Um, so I could have some energy to do this. Because I was like, gosh, we did kind of talk about this for 30 minutes, but we did, if you caught this morning's live, we did cover a little bit of Ashley's. I will drop all of the links to the videos that we're going to discuss. Let me start with if you watch today's video, we did see a little bit of Ashley's video and we covered the part of most interest. Um, she did tell her story. Her video is like 33 minutes long. It's not long. If you want to see Jeremy Pastel's baby mom, she is mom to his son, and Keisha is mom to the daughters. Okay. Um, let me drop you. If you're not familiar with Ashley the Leeway, like I said, Ashley is um Jeremy's baby mom to his son. Okay. And I'm dropping the link now, and I'll make sure to drop the links in the comments. Okay. So any of you coming back upon the replay, you guys can find these channels and go watch if you like, right? The full video. But yeah, Ashley turned out, so Keisha dropped a video and she basically, do I have my phone? Because I feel like she put up a video yesterday talking some ish about if I base wait, hold on one second. Guys, it's like legit almost bedtime, even though it's like a later bedtime. Um, it's almost 10 o'clock. Farrah would normally be in bed, but tomorrow's the next to the last day of school, so we let her stay up a little late. So my husband's actually, I just heard his voice, but I thought he was talking to me because I have headphones on. So but hold on one second, let me check just to make sure I'm not needed on the floor. Just a moment. He's got everything covered. So yeah, he's telling her to turn, you know what time it is. Turn off your TV, all that kind of stuff, right? So anywho, yes. Okay. I feel like I took a screenshot of it because stuff gets buried in my wait a second. What's his name? Damian Cryer saying he got catfished on POF. Sir, this is what I'm going to ask. What are you doing on POF? Um, what? Wait, hold on one second. Let me see what's going on here. How did you get catfished on POF? Were you on POF? Hold on. Look, we're going to have to get to that a little later or some other point. Clearly, any of you guys who ask about Love by Erica and Damian, Erica have to be a fool. If Erica is behind the scenes in this man's house and they pretend to not be together, it's just stupid. And to roll back into Keisha and some of these ladies, there are people out here that will bend over backwards to be with somebody and do foolish and silly stuff. I don't get it because I'm not one of them. And I'm not one of them. That's just, I don't get it. So I would hope that he's not on Plenty of Fish if Erica's staying over there, which I don't think she is, but whatever. But we'll get over there. I keep saying that we will, and we've got to because there's so much going on right now with Love by Erica, Mr. Cryer, the Mucker situation. I don't even know if those two are together. So we'll get there. I promise. But back to Keisha and Lily. So Lily got her surgery, what, 2 years ago now? It's been over 2. Let me see. In her description box, she says that she got her surgery. Even though she put up her video in December, you got to look in the description box. And she states that she had her surgery May 1st. Okay. 21. So that's been 2 years now. Keisha got her surgery at around the same time. She went to Texas. Then she got a revision in October. Okay. So it's been 2 years for her too. And then it'll be 2 years in October for the first revision. Now she's gone back to Florida. So let's get into her video first because it is getting late. We did look at Lily's video. I did just drop the link to Lily's video. So if you're watching this on the repeat and you don't really watch the chat, I highly recommend it because it does kind of help follow along, and some people are dropping tea and information and just being cute in the chat, and it's fun. So definitely click on, now you can find, at least on iPhone, click on comments, and then scroll to the, swipe to the left, and it'll engage the live chat, and you can see what people are saying. And I've got the link to the video that I'm referencing. But then now we're going to scroll on over to Keisha's. If you want to see what Ashley had to say, some about her surgery, definitely watch her video. And then also in the video from earlier today, she talks about CG Cosmetics, which is the cosmetic surgery practice. And then we're going to roll in over here, which I'm sure we'll find this entertaining because sis is always so, and girl, I don't know what's going on here with this lady's hairline. I don't know if she got one of these tan lines from having her wig on too long. It's, girl. Oh, I just heard someone's car honking. I was like, wait a second, that sounds like my car, but I was like, that's weird. But maybe that was my neighbor's car. Yeah, I don't hear it anymore. Just 1 second. Yeah, no. Okay. Okay, let's share here. Oh, let me share something else too really quick. I looked up some information, and everyone doesn't know this. I know I didn't, so let's share this really quick. I think most people can figure it out, but since we are teaching and educational over here, let's also get a little bit of background. Um, and this is just a random website that I pulled up with information. This is a practice in Las Vegas called Pencoli or Pencholi. And basically, mommy makeovers consist of breast augmentations, breast lifts, tummy tucks, liposuction, and labiaplasty if you need to get that box repaired. Okay. If your box is in disrepair because you've had one too many vaginal births, well, they've got a procedure for you to tighten things up and make it look real nice down there. Okay. It reduces the size of the labia and improves symmetry to enhance appearance and comfort. Okay. Then there's liposuction that removes unwanted fat girl on the hips, thighs, buttocks, abdomen, arms, and neck. Okay. Uh, I never knew labiaplasty was part. I guess there's options. So I don't think you have to get everything. But these are things that are included, at least at Dr. Pancholi's office. Girl, he's trying to help us this out, okay? Tummy tuck removes excess skin, tightens abdomen muscles to restore core strength and improve posture. Lifts the breast lift, lifts sagging breasts to a more youthful position. So sitting up perky, and can be combined with breast implants. And then augmentation uses breast implants or fat transfer to restore volume and shape to the breasts. Okay. Um, let me see something else. There was another visual. Okay, this is another, I don't know where this practice is, I'm just going to be honest, but this is Beauty by Bruick. So I'm not sure where this practice is located, but they had a fun visual, so that's why I pulled this one up. Which procedures are included in a mommy makeover? Breast surgery, tummy tuck, liposuction, and Brazilian butt lift. So I guess it might just be by the practice. They just make, they have their menu of options. So that one doctor did labiaplasty. This one does not. Board certified plastic surgeons versus cosmetic surgeons. Anyone with a medical degree can study aesthetic procedures and call themselves a cosmetic surgeon. There is no medical board recognized by the American Board of Medical Specialties that certifies cosmetic surgeons. The American Board of Plastic Surgery, which is recognized by the ABMS, certifies plastic surgeons. So, plastic surgeon versus a cosmetic surgeon. Okay. To obtain this distinction, the surgeon must first, this is good information, guys, because we are teaching tonight, okay? Because all of us want to learn, right? I mean, this is some good information, some good random information, right? Hey, y'all. Hey, Jackson Squad. Hey, everyone. I didn't do all the individual hellos. We all know each other. And if you don't, just jump right in and say hi. Well, we don't all know each other, but I mean, it's friendly here, okay? So it's just act like you know and say hi to someone, okay? All right, let's jump back in. Let me fix this visual. Okay, here we go. So we read the distinction between the two, but if you are on the American Board of Plastic Surgery, which recognized by the ABMS, certifies plastic surgeons. To obtain this distinction, a surgeon must first graduate from an accredited medical school. Number one, complete a minimum of 3 years residency training in general surgery through an accreditation council for graduate medical education approved facility. Okay. Complete a minimum of 2 years additional years of residency training specifically in plastic surgery through the ACGME. Okay. And submit to the ABPS, which is again the American Board of Plastic Surgery, all operative reports along with the pre and post operative photographs of procedures performed for 6 months after going into practice. Pass comprehensive written and oral exams. To remain certified, a surgeon must meet yearly. We talked about this earlier today, for continuing education requirements, and that's in many professions. If you are licensed or certified, they want to see you every year. They're giving you classes, seminars, meetings, all kinds of things, and then sometimes following up with exams and refreshers and new techniques and all of those things that are now at the forefront of your profession. So when someone's not certified, I mean, they could be using old techniques. They may not be meeting the current standards. They could be doing a lot of different things. Just because they're a medical doctor and they are a surgeon doesn't necessarily mean that they are that they are trained in doing aesthetic procedures and certified by plastic surgery. So basically this doctor is saying I'm all that, right? So, okay, let's go back to this visual. This is the Brazilian butt lift to restore volume and lift the buttocks, liposuction to remove stubborn fat deposits, tummy tuck removes excess skin and firms abdominal muscles. So really kind of if you've had a C-section before and they cut through all of your muscles and then they do the muscle repair, it's almost like, I don't want to say it's a tummy tuck, but they cut through your muscles and then they have to, tighten your muscles back. Sometimes they don't do a very good job, especially if it's like emergency surgery and the mom is in distress. You may not have as tight of a snapback with the tummy tuck. Some people like lose functions of their bladder a little bit because of C-sections and things like that. So some women do have to go back and get some repair. They have like bladder leakage because the muscles are so weak in their abdomen. It affects their ability to like hold their bladder. It's a mess. So I think that's where some of that comes in. Breast surgery and, why they started calling it the mommy makeover. I don't know. I don't know if it's just because, like not just for aesthetic reasons, but maybe these were just common packages that women who've gone through a certain time in life want to get, but whatever. Anywho, we have one of which who's on the YouTube streets who keeps talking about breastfeeding. And we're going to try to run through this fast because sis talks a lot. and then we're going to try to run over to Peyton's. I feel like I remembered her showing a little bit of the procedure, but maybe it wasn't that. She just went into very much into a lot of detail. But you guys know Peyton is so funny and she has such a good way of telling stories. Even just listening back to the story this evening, I was just like, oh my God, like it was awful. Um, she had a bad, she had a bad time with her surgery. Um, okay, let me pull this up. Okay. All right, let's I hope everyone had a good day today. We're going to try and get through this quick because girl, I'm getting the itis after my turkey sandwich. Um let's see. I've got to move my okay. Okay, girl. There's a reason for all of this. Okay.
My breast augmentation update video. One. It's 15 minutes.
Okay, so the video starts out and they're in the hotel in Florida and she never actually comes back to sit down to finish like what she was going to talk about. Hey Bama girl. And so really this part was staged to me. So then now she's back to the house. She has a very prominent tan line or she's got on some very dark makeup. I don't know which one it is, but it looks horrible.
So, anyways, I'm here. I'm back in Atlanta. It's about 4 days post surgery, and I'm feeling a lot better today than I have been in my last few days. So, I wanted to come while I have the energy to come and give you guys a detailed video pretty much about the dangers of having plastic surgery. I'm pretty sure we all know most of the dangers, but I kind of want to give my experience with this because I did elect to have a breast augmentation after having my 3 daughters and breastfeeding and pumping the entire post pregnancies, and it was a lot on my body, you guys. I've always had like a smaller cup size. I was like 34B before I even got pregnant, and once I got sized and measured for my first procedure, I was like an A, like almost non-existent. And I first
So what does she mean she was a 34B and then when she got measured she was a 34A? So she's saying she lost volume after having the kids. So she went from a B cup to flat chested is or uh a modest size.
off, I want to start by saying that it is 100% okay to love your body in all stages of your life, before having children, during your pregnancy, after.
I'm just going to say I can't stand her modeling photos. I think her modeling photos are disgusting. I mean, when you're sitting there like that with your legs wide open, I just think that that's so trash, but that's just a pet peeve of mine. Um I just don't think she liked her chest size anyway. I mean, she goes from saying that she didn't mind her chest size to all of a sudden she wanted it. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with the itty bitty titty committee. I mean, honestly, I think that you can do stuff like wear your blouse open and wear it open really low and it's not looking va 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 voom. Not that that's not sexy, but when I say va 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 voom, it's like breasts everywhere. Everybody doesn't like that look. You know what I mean? I think it actually looks really nice when you can wear like a nice blouse and have lots of buttons open, but you're not giving, nip slip. Um, and that's something that somebody who has, a small chest can kind of do. But I don't know, girl. That's her. That's her how she likes to rock it. So whatever. But yeah, let sis talk herself all the way out.
I know we look in the mirror and we see things and we're like real nitpicky about it. I personally decided to do this on my own. I didn't do it for anyone else. I just knew what I looked like before having kids, and I was okay with having smaller breasts.
So is she answering the comments of people saying that she got the surgery to be like Ashley or that's what Jeremy wanted?
But I just felt like once they were completely non-existent, it kind of like made me in a way insecure. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like what happened to my boobs? I'm never gonna get them back. Like I can go to the gym and I can work out and get, grow a butt. I can, go and subscribe for a membership and, pretty much fix anything else I want to fix on my body in the gym. However, my boobs is one thing that I just cannot fix without having a surgery. Another thing
How about just say I wanted to get them done? I love when people feel like they've got to give like, and this, and that, and da and boo boo, and CC, and DD, and EE, and FF, and GG, and HH. You don't have to give us a list of reasons. Nobody cares.
I did develop diastasis recti after having my twins. So my diastasis kind of grew a
Diastasis
little
that
bit
gets to
bigger
was
once
this
I
right
had
side.
my mini jewelry. And so now I'm having two problems. So I was not only just looking at my boobs and not being content with the size that they were anymore, but I also had to worry about my diastasis. And if you guys don't know what diastasis is, it's a separation of your ab muscles. So since I'm very petite, I'm under 100 pounds, it is very obvious that I have diastasis. And sometimes people can get it if you don't know what diastasis is and all those different things. And certain clothes on certain particular days, I could look either extremely bloated or like she's pregnant, she's not pregnant, but that's just what happened after postpartum. So I had two different things in my torso area that were like eyesores for me personally, and I considered correcting my.
She say she was going to do a talk on the dangers of plastic surgery. Why is she giving us all of this information? Does anybody really care? Like, if she were writing an English paper and started out with these are the dangers of plastic surgery and then goes on this complete left turn off topic, it's like, sis, you just you're getting an F.
My diastasis recti until I found out I absolutely had to get a version of a tummy tuck to do so. And I went and got opinions from several doctors, and most of them did not even feel confident with proceeding with the surgery for me. And myself, I was extremely terrified. So I felt like that was my sign to just leave it alone. So fast forward, I decided, you know what, I can do something about my chest area. That's something I actually did talk about prior, like while I was in college, like maybe one day I would get a breast augmentation. But since I didn't need it and I was for the most part content with my size, I didn't move forward with it while I was in college. It was just kind of like a thought. So now after having my mini jewelry and breastfeeding and just going through all the different changes, I went through postpartum depression really, really heavy. I just decided I wanted to do something for myself. So I went ahead and I started doing mini consultations, or not many, but virtual consultations, because I didn't have any doctors that were in consideration in Atlanta. That's where I'm from. So I did a consultation with someone in Chicago, and my other option was someone that was in Texas. Now I went ahead and went with the Texas doctor because she actually did do someone's surgery who I knew personally. And I'm like, okay, well, if she looks good, I can look good. So let me just start off by saying there's a lot of things that go into searching for a doctor. One, doing your thorough research about the doctor and how many procedures that went wrong, or the reviews and testimonials and all.
Y'all, I got distracted. So hold on just a second. Can we just look at the ugly thumbnail? I'm not trying to be overly critical, but I'm just going to be critical because this is reaction review and commentary. This is a really bad thumbnail. Like, I don't know who's doing her not that her thumbnails were great lately, but maybe I'm just noticing it because this is more of a sit down video. It doesn't have anything to do with a vlog. She doesn't have any action footage. She is just taking just a very basic type picture. She tried to ghost out her boobs right here. I don't know what she's doing, but it's a bad thumbnail. I don't know what you guys think, but I think it's horrible.
Because just like you on your own page, when you take a picture, you may take 15 pictures. The one that you think makes you look the best and you're showing your best version of yourself, that's the one that makes it to your page. You won't show the one where you're off guard, the one that looks kind of crazy from you to the side or whatever it is. So that's kind of how it is with surgeries. You can go to someone's Instagram page and everything looks good, but we need to do some research because we need to figure out which ones didn't make it to the page and things like that. So another thing that I want to give advice for, if you guys, like I said, I'm not condoning, I'm not telling anyone to go do this. I'm just telling you guys my experience, how things went wrong, and why I had to get another surgery this time around. Outside of the previous two surgeries and everything. I'm going to try my best to share pictures, but I am topless, braless, and all of that, and all the pictures. I'm trying to figure out how to do that. Maybe I can put some hearts on top. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. I don't want to get flagged for the video, so I'm trying to figure out how to do it. But you guys, I'm very detailed when I speak, so you all can just bear with me in case I can't put the pictures up. So, anyways, the second set of advice
She says she's detailed when she speaks. How about just long-winded?
I want to give when you're searching for your doctor is to not only look for the testimonials of the people who didn't make it to the page by doing deeper research, looking on Google or whatever, typing the doctor's name in, make sure they're board certified. You also want to look at the models, or not the models, but the people who they've done surgery on. Are most of their clients similar to your size? Do they have, like, some doctors are able to work well on all body types? Like, you can have, you could be overweight. I'm not saying it to be rude, but you can be overweight and a doctor could literally.
What is rude about overweight? Can we, you know what I'm saying? Like, can a thing be a thing? If someone's overweight, if someone's underweight, it's not rude. It's not rude. It's a thing. If people would stop tippy-toeing around what is, um, it is what it is. I'm so sick and tired of this. I just remember when I was in high school, it was like that politically correct thing. Conversation started happening, and people started to try to spare people's feelings and be nice. And do you see what it has created? It has created a almost a generation of people who cannot say, we can't even speak real feelings. It's some type of way. I'm so tired of it. I'm just going to be honest. I'm so tired of it. Overweight is a thing, okay? And call a thing, just like short, fat, skinny, dumb, stupid, all of the things.
Give you the results that you want. Some doctors cannot work with you if you're overweight. It may not look as good as if you were just coming with just a little extra cushion or fat or whatever to just insert wherever you see fit. And then there's also me, someone who's petite. So I was very careful to look at the doctors and seeing that they had petite clients. So yes.
Oh, so you can edit the kids out of your plastic surgery video that you're hoping gets a lot of views, but you can't edit out other stuff. Did you just hear the child? Someone said, "Mommy." Hold on, is it?
Doctors cannot work with you if you're overweight. It may not look as good as if you were just coming with just a little extra cushion or fat or whatever to just insert wherever you see fit. And then there's also me, someone who's petite. So I was very careful to look at the doctors and seeing that they had petite clients. So so I didn't see my exact body type, but since I had someone who I know in real life in person, and I've seen her in person with her her procedure, and I love the way it looked, I kind of was like, you know what, let me just go to her because you turned out great, so let me just do that. Another thing, once you get to the doctor, you need to pay attention in the pre-op. So that's kind of where things went wrong for me. So in my pre-op, with my first surgery, I had my first surgery about 6 months after stopping breastfeeding, because they want you to wait like 6 months to a year. So 6 months after I stopped breastfeeding I had my pre-op, or I had my surgery scheduled, and I live in Atlanta, so I had to do my pre-op like right as soon as I got there. So the day before my.
So you guys are saying that based on what she said in the past, she did not breastfeed at all, or the twins got the German milk? Did look, I don't even want to get into a whole thing about it because honestly, I have no way to prove it, not prove it, and you know what I'm saying? Who cares? But based on you guys who've watched, you guys are saying that she did not at that time. She was giving that powder milk from overseas, the overseas milk, to all three children, right? Including, I guess they were trying to give some to August too, right?
Procedure, I went there and we looked at my bare area and we were able to see the imperfections. It is also very vital that you find a doctor who knows how to work with
Twisted Sister, I think that is her having worn so many wigs and the lace front coming down. I think if you ever watch, what's her name, Najee, the girl who was good friends with Jayla, and for whatever reason they fell out. Girl, sis hairline is, she's so tan. She won't even not wear her, like she can't even really wear her real hair. She'll put on a ball cap because she cannot color match what's going on her forehead. So that's one of the pitfalls of wearing too many wigs, is that you get that tan line on your forehead, especially people who've got they want to wear their wig down a little bit and try to chop off a little forehead. It becomes a mess.
like imperfect breasts. So at that time, if I knew what I knew now, or I paid attention a little bit harder, maybe I wouldn't have been in this predicament. But I think at that point, it was like, for me, it was too late because it was already the day before the surgery. And I paid for all of my surgeries in full upfront. Like, as soon as I booked it, I'm paying for everything. So it was already paid for. And I paid for traveling and all these
What did that have to do with anything? So does everybody else.
other things like that. So anyways, in my pre-op week, obviously, I breastfed. So there were a lot of different.
Is she trying to assume that everyone's on a pay? Everyone's not on a payment plan and everyone's not paying with credit. But trust and believe, even if they're paying with credit, I'm sure it's not financed by the clinic. So the clinic's getting paid no matter what. They don't care how it gets paid for. So her sis always wants to bring up something about some money. Like she's, the girl, stop it.
Imperfections with the way my one breast sat. One breast was actually larger than the other, and one was lower sitting than the other. One nipple was inverted, whereas the other one kind of was like straight away. And the doctor did let me know, hey, like the way I do surgeries, you're going to pretty much have the exact same aftermath as how you look now. They're just going to be bigger. So any imperfection you have now is just going to be like magnified, I guess. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So fast forward, I had the surgery. My downtime the first time around was not that bad. Like literally that same day we went out.
Wait, so the doctor told her you're going to have the same imperfections, but they're going to be magnified, which means that they're going to be more obvious. Is that what the doctor said? Am I understanding that? Did you guys hear that?
Just going to be bigger. So any imperfection you have now is just going to be like have the exact same aftermath as how you're away. And the doctor did let me know, hey, like the way I do surgeries, you're going to pretty much have the exact same aftermath as how you look now. They're just going to be bigger. So any imperfection you have now is just going to be like magnified. That same kind of was like straight away. And the doctor did let me know, hey, like the way I do surgeries, you're going to pretty much have the exact same aftermath as how you look now. They're just going to be bigger. So any imperfection you have now is just going to be like magnified, I guess. And I was like, okay, that's cool. So fast forward.
So, okay, that's cool. So what is it fixing? You don't like your breasts. So really and truly, you weren't getting a breast augmentation to fix the lopsidedness or the reverse nipple, your nipple who's going in versus out. You just want a bigger volume. Is that what, are you guys understanding this? Am I hearing that correctly? Are we all on the same page?
I had the surgery. My downtime the first time around was not that bad. Like literally that same day we went out, had dinner, everything's good. I went through the breakdown of how to properly take care of myself and have my boyfriend take care of me as well. Everything went great. It wasn't until like maybe 2 weeks after that surgery when I got back to Atlanta, and I literally, one of my incisions, which my left one, it started to leak. It was bleeding really, really, really bad. I don't remember how much I talked about my procedures on my platform, but it was really, really, really bad. Mind you,
Girl. I just remember at the time she wasn't wearing her surgical bra. Wasn't she doing weird stuff after she got her surgery? And she had something going on that she had to take some pictures or do a photo shoot, and she had to get out of her surgical bra and do something. She was trying to run around without her medical equipment, her assigned medical equipment, and it was a problem.
I don't live in Texas. So that's another thing. Be very cognizant of getting your surgery out of state and knowing how much communication you'll be able to have with your doctor. So the first doctor I went to, I can give kudos in that area because they were like the assistant as well as the doctor was emailing me, texting me, DMing me, calling me, FaceTiming, whatever I needed. Like I had that right at my fingertips. However, my left boob started to bleed, and since I wasn't in person, we didn't know the cause of it, and it was profuse, like it was bleeding, you guys, just bleeding, not like spots, it was bleeding. After that, maybe about 6 months after that, once it did stop bleeding, I didn't have to go into the emergency room because she said it could be a number of different things. And 6 months after my surgery, of course, you got to send your updated pictures, your videos, and we started knowing we noticed that there was some abnormalities in my frame of my breast. So she didn't know if it was because of that bleeding that occurred, or what it could have possibly been. So I was told to start wearing a band. Oh, y'all remember that I had to wear a band to see if there was like maybe a clot that had formed from that blood, but I didn't have that surgery in Atlanta. So, and I could have obviously went to another surgeon, but since I had so much communication and the bleeding did stop and everything seemed like it was going great until the 6 months follow-up, then, I just thought everything was going great. So anyways, needless to say, after that first appointment, we got to the 6 month mark, we realized that I would have to have surgery again. We could not determine really it's not on me, but it was on the doctor. She could not determine or figure out which breast needed to have surgery. I did so much research, and this is where I went wrong, and I have to hold myself accountable because I would not have been where I'm at now if I just would have remembered when I watched all the mini videos. So if you're thinking about having a surgery or anything like that, or if you had a surgery or whatever, please take heed to what I'm about to say. If at any time you have to have a revision on your breast, do not, I repeat, do not have a revision on just one breast. Get the whole set. I was about to say renovated, but get the whole entire set. Y'all's word. Have the surgery on both. Have the surgery on both. So
The lie detector determined that was a lie. The lie detector determined that was a lie.
Okay, Star Vanity. I had to just press the lie button. I'm not that girl. I don't know if it was a lie or not. It just seemed appropriate at the time. I repeat, I repeat, do not. And I mean repeat, do not.
It was the left one. Since it didn't go down with the band, she still did not know, and we still had not ran any tests to see if it was a medical reason as to why there was an issue with my left one. So she said, okay, come back, I'll do the surgery for you. All I had to pay was for the anesthesiologist and travel and all that stuff. So still added up to over $3,000 I had to spend again to get down there and have all this done. But she was a doll face, like I said. I didn't have to pay her, I just had to pay for the anesthesiologist, the Airbnb and traveling flights and all that. So, and that time all of my daughters came. But anyways, so we got down there. I strongly thought that it should be the left one. She strongly thought it should be the right one, that maybe the right one was the issue. And since I didn't have any more bleeding after, when she squeezed it, it seemed like it was still soft. So she was like, well, maybe what I thought happened didn't happen. So I'm going to go with the right one. And I was like, hey, do you think we can just open both of them up? Because I'm not really comfortable. This one now has been healing for all this time. And this one's going to be freshly open. She told me that she was not going to remove the implant. She was just going to open me up, push it a little.
See, that's what happens when you're getting free surgery. Okay. If you would have took out that checkbook and said, but I would like to get that done, then maybe she would have done the other one. When you're on free time, when you're on revision surgery, that is, like you said, you're just paying for the anesthesiologist. So if you wanted what you wanted, then you should have said, well, how much is it if I pay for, since you'll be in there anyway? Because a lot of people, they're getting a revision done and they go ahead and say, well, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and get that lipo done while we're in here. Or they'll book additional procedures and you pay. So if she only wanted to do one, you could have paid for the other one. That's, you should have worked that out in the contract before you went down there and said, no, I want a revision on both because I feel like it's botched.
Higher into my muscles and pulled me back up. Okay, so fast forward another 6 months after that pre-op, we realized something else was wrong. My right breast was very sensitive, and I never disclosed any of this on my blog. My right breast was really sensitive, and my scarring of both of them were completely in different places. So in the scar with this one was thicker. I hope I have a picture of my scar, y'all. I meant to do the video before I had the surgery, but Jeremy came into the hotel room and I'm like, damn, now I don't have to surgery no more. So I'm gonna look back at my pictures. I'm pretty sure I showed, but by the time the day before the surgery, it was probably worse than the pictures I had in my phone. But I'll still try to put it on the screen. But either way it goes, it was a very sensitive, aggravating scar. Like my breast was very aggravating, like to wear a bra, to wear certain things, hugging tight on my breast. It was very sensitive. And at that point, we still cannot figure out. The doctor told me, the doctor who revised the right one, she looked at my post-op again after the 6 months went by after doing the right one. She looked at the pictures and she said, actually, I realized it's the left one. I think that when that bleeding occurred the first time around, there was a clot that formed and it's not allowing the implant to settle down. So we need to go in seriously to remove the whole entire implant out and ensure that there's no clot that has formed or it can create severe health complications. So I said that to say, you guys, had I won my initial intuition, I already had. Okay, guys. So my first surgery was May 7th. My second surgery was October 10th, the same year. As you can see, this email is from April, which is exactly 6 months from my second surgery. And this is where I sent in my photos, had the video consultation with the doctor, and this is what was determined, that they wanted to go in. This was their treatment plan, and they gave me the price quote for everything. But yeah, so this is where it says the left breast augmentation needs to be revised pretty much, and they need to remove the scar tissue from the inside and replace the actual implant. I told myself if I had to do a revision, I would just go to another doctor because I saw so many videos, and I'm not gonna call girls' names out, but they were talking about their revision after revision after revision, and then they just ended up having to go to a different doctor. But my gut kept telling me, it was hard for me to process this because I found this information out a while ago. It was hard for me to process it because life was just so busy for me. We had so much stuff going on. I'm like, there's no downtime for me to have another surgical procedure right now. But as time went on, my right breast became more and more and more aggravated and sensitive. And I just knew there is no way I could live like this. And obviously she was extremely concerned that there was a reason why the left one was not settling properly, because when we look at the before pictures, the left one, based off those pictures, wouldn't have been the one that was sitting higher if there was an issue. I did get 225 cc or something like, whatever it was I got, I'm gonna put it across the screen. I can't remember off the top of my head, and I just want to go straight through this video, you guys. But whatever it was, whatever those CCs were, she actually told me I had no choice but to get those. No, I don't want to say it like that. Okay, she recommended that I stuck with like the smallest possible CC for my framing. Like I said, I'm under 100 pounds, and she was very nervous about this and the third with my tiny frame and things like that. So she decided to stick with them. Both implants were the exact same size, so we shouldn't have had those issues. So she thought there was trapped blood and scar tissue internally damaging why this implant could not sit down. So she knew no matter what I felt. So when she told me I had to get the left one done and not the right one, I told her my right one is the one is bothering me so much. So we got to figure something out, because we're gonna have to open this up and figure out how we're gonna fix the scar. The scar is not in the right place. So there's obviously something else going on with the right one, because the scar is not in the right place. But she still felt like, okay, we can figure out another ultimatum for the right one. Was
Oh my God. Why would she even use the word ultimatum? Alternative was the word you were trying to use, but you came up with ultimatum? My God. Okay. My God. Okay. We're not even going to get all into that because that's just ridiculous. It's a redonkulous. Oh Jesus. Do you think that's why Keisha's always scratching on her chest and everywhere, or has she always been a scratcher? I cannot imagine having something uncomfortable on my breasts. That's awful. But what gets me is the fact that in April 22, the doctor's office is sending you a treatment plan, and the doctor's also telling you that she's quite concerned that there could be a blood clot in your chest. And you go to Florida in June of 23. So 14 months later, instead of going back to Texas for revision number 2, you wait 14 months from after they sent you the information, the treatment plan, and then you get it done in Florida. Interesting.
just still going with the left one, and of course I'll take care of it again. You just come down here and I'll take care of it. I thought a lot long and hard about it, and I prayed about it, because I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I don't really know. And it was wintertime when we discussed this, or getting into winter or something like that. I forgot, y'all, because I had the
Girl, it was April. That's spring, sis.
second follow-up in October.
And I think things were starting to crumble apart. Let's remember April of 22, they had closed on the house, right? We don't know everything that was going on, but it almost seemed like nothing was really going on with the house for a long time until they finally decided, or they had to move in due to many different things. Let's hold on a second. Let me find. No, I don't know if alcohol was one of them. Let's see. What was one of the things? This was one of the
There we
things.
go. All right. Keisha Anderson versus LaToya.
I'm here.
Thank you, Miss. Is anyone here for Keisha Anderson? All right. Not hearing any announcement for Miss Anderson. Last call for Keisha Anderson. The plaintiff is not here, so I'm going to let you choose what date that case will be heard on. What date and time? We've got November 17th and November 8th. Last call for Keisha Anderson. 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 All right, not hearing any announcement for Miss Anderson. Last call for Keisha Anderson. Last call for Keisha Anderson.
You remember it took a minute for them to go to court, and a minute, I mean almost a year. Like, she went downtown and talked about the guy, not about her not having any money to leave the parking deck. She didn't bring any money. Jeremy wasn't available. She couldn't get it. She couldn't get her car out the parking deck. All kinds of drama. That whole thing. Little did we know she was filing papers to take one of the sisses on the YouTube streets to small claims court, which that ended up playing out later that year in November. But there was lots going on behind the scenes. Of course, they were still living in the apartment. I don't even know if renovations had started yet. I mean, there was a lot of drama, as Martin Lewis would say. There was lots of drama going on at the time. Somebody's screaming. Who's screaming? JS, stop screaming. It's late. Aren't the kids sleeping in the house? My goodness, don't scream, girl. We're taking a trip down memory lane. Isn't that funny? No pun intended. The mammary glands are located in the breast. So we're just taking a trip down memory lane. Okay, let's keep going, guys. Let me change the scene. Let's get back to where we were. Were we over? We were over at Daddy Gone's lane. Okay, here we go. Girl, look at the freeze frame.
So I had the first surgery in May. I had the revision done the same year, October. And by January, February is when I'm like, okay, I've had the revision. The right one is now settling down after, it settles down within 8 weeks. So after 8 weeks, we noticed the right one was settling down and it was still settled lower than the left. So we knew, well, she knew there must be some complications internally with the left one. It may not be hurting you or anything like that, but it could be some internal issues. So it needs to come out and we need to start that one over. But like I said, since I decided that the right one was bothering me as well, I was like, there's no way I'm going to just open up the left one. Like, I don't want to keep going through the same thing with, playing hokey pokey, which proves the problem. And like I said, these are the things that you have to think about when you're having plastic surgery. And I'm only sharing this to help women out there. Like I said, I wasn't
like being a YouTuber. This is just some critique about, girl. Every freeze frame is always like some sort of bothered face. I think that if you're going to do a breast augmentation gone wrong, this should have been labeled story time and done as more of a storyish type thing, because that's basically what she's doing with us right now, rather than the way she opened it. She's a horrible narrator, okay? Sis is not good at telling her own story, in my opinion. I just think that the way she framed what we were going to hear, we're not hearing any of it. I've seen a couple of you say she needed to have some talking points. Yeah, because aren't you supposed to be giving some reasons, some examples, or things that can go wrong? I forgot what she even said, but she framed it as like she was going to be giving us information. Sis, you're telling us a whole damn story. So,
even going to talk about this on my platform. I was going to get the surgery and let it be that, because it was not even really anyone's business. You guys have already been a part of that journey with me. And since I didn't technically elect to have
this isn't any of our business. You didn't have to tell us anything, but sis, you want to check. We don't ask anybody for, I ask people to send me requests. That doesn't mean I'm going to do it. Okay. At the end of the day, you're doing this because you want to. I don't like when YouTubers or content creators on other platforms try to make like they're doing the audience a favor. Sis, you getting paid. Like, that's the way to piss your audience off for real, though, by trying to make it seem like you get brownie points for doing something. Do something because that's what you want to do. You're not getting any brownie points from anybody. Sis, you're going to collect a whole check off this.
Third procedure, it was like I had no choice. I was like, I'm just gonna go.
Even if the check's $50, but I'm sure it won't be. But whatever it is, at the end of the day, do your damn video.
But my spirit just has been leading me to just say, to share, and maybe someone else who's watching this can think twice about their doctors, or think twice about all the other things that will give you guys advice, or maybe decide not to do it. Because you all may ask me, like, do you regret? I have some regrets of how, like, knowing internally, like, what my gut feeling was telling me about certain things and not acting on it. Those are the only things I regret. And I was scared shitless to have to do this a third time. Like, literally, I was like, oh my gosh, like, I wasn't even really that worried.
Yeah, but if the doctor's telling you could have a blood clot in your chest, you weren't that scared, because then, number one, you should have gone to an emergency room and had the doctor call in or conference with a plastic surgeon there and check to make sure you don't have a blood clot. You could have gone to a reconstruction plastic surgeon to make sure, get an ultrasound of your breast to see if there was any sort of blood clot forming, if there was a problem. If she didn't seek out medical attention to see what was actually going on, if there was anything to be concerned about, then was there any real concern?
First and second time, I didn't even think about it. I'm like, it's gonna get done, it's gonna be done. But this time around, like, I thought, ever since I paid the money, I was like thinking about it every single day. Like, every single day, I was like so anxious about it, and I was just praying that everything was gonna go great. So moving on to CGC. So I decided, one of my friends recommended a doctor at CGC, and she was like, this is where you need to go. Like, I'm telling you right now, this is the place you need to go to. This is the best doctor. These are the two best doctors you can either get, and look at their work. And I scoped their work, and I'm like, oh my gosh. Within looking at their work, you guys, I actually saw a lot of the girls who were really small frame like myself, but I also saw when they talked about the CCs and the breast, like one girl, she had one CC in one breast, one CC in the other breast. I'm like, a lot of things started going through my mind. Maybe the reason I'm having these issues was because since it was one was inverted and one was facing forward and one was smaller, one was bigger, one was lower lying, because all these different things, maybe I wasn't even supposed to have the same exact implant to begin with. Like now that's a whole different thing.
The
So
eviction,
anyways,
yes.
CGC, overall my experience, I would say it was a 10 out of 10. I would give it that. Communication wise, I did not have as much communication with the doctor at all in comparison to the previous one, but I still want to give the 10 out of 10 because the interaction that I did have with Dr. Freeman was amazing, and I give him his kudos. Like, he was amazing. And I will show you guys my after. Well, you can't see everything, but I'll show you guys the after. And I kind of want to show you guys my picture of how it looked before with my first procedure, like immediately after, my revision, how it looked immediately after, and like this doctor, like night and day. I really want to be able to give you guys that so you all can see.
I mean, this looks like, what are these things called I have over here on my desk? I don't know. That looks like a small potato, and that looks like she put a chiclet, like they put an overgrown chiclet in her chest. It looks like a fist is wanting to come out of her. It looks like something from a horror movie. That looks horrible. If I'd had to have that on my chest for 2 years, I would have been very upset. This situation over here is definitely giving tatas. It's giving big boobs energy, and have fun with that. I'm sure Jeremy's going to be very happy.
See some things to look out for and to question with your doctor and to make sure and ask all the right questions, you guys. So anyways, I scheduled CGC, I don't even remember how long ago, but it was probably like a month or two ago. But my friend had already told me once I had found out I had to get my left boob operated on, and she was like, you got to get that one operated on, which was last year sometime. I had told my friend, like what
the note said April of 22. April of 22, the doctor told her it was important to get it done right away, and she gets it done May, the last couple days of May of 23.
what was going on. I was telling her I was so stressed out. And he had told me, like, this is a doctor. So I had been watching them and looking at their page for quite a few times. And then I actually had a homegirl who went somewhere else, and I looked up that doctor. And then another one of my friends had just had surgery, and I looked up her doctor. But when I did my extensive research about the reviews and looked at their work to see like how many girls, and do I personally feel like looks, stellar, like not that my opinion matters, but I'm just liking how they're able to sit the girls up and all the other different things, like who's giving the framing of what I'm going for, which checked out to be Dr. Freeman, who is amazing. So CGC is located.
Who's giving? Don't stop. Get it. Get it. Is that what you were looking for?
It's CG Cosmetics. So they're located in Miami. I had a coordinator who I was able to speak to the entire time. She was great. I don't really know what else to say about that. I can't remember her name. I'll put her name across the screen. She was amazing.
Who's giving adequate pain medication? Who's going to let my boyfriend go pick it up? Who's giving a discount? Who has a sale going on?
I got down there. It was a completely different environment than when I went to my first doctor. The first doctor, it was, as far as like the actual building and stuff, I gotta hurry up because I gotta take the girls home. But as far as like the building itself, like clean, great location, very high end. It was great. I was the only person in there, like as far as my appointment. Now both times COVID was.
I was about to say,
so maybe
COVID.
They scheduled it that way, but it was. I felt like I was at the chop shop when I went to CGC because I walked in there and it was like 30, 45 girls looking at me. I'm like, oh my gosh, we all here for the same thing. Like, let me go like this.
No, because those doctors have Rolls Royce and Ferrari payments to make. They're not playing around. They're probably over there on the harbor or have some sort of nice view, and they've got wives at home with 4, 5, 6 kids, 4-car garages, and foreigns in the driveway that needs to be paid for. And wifey just asked for a Rolls Royce for her anniversary. So yeah, they are stacking them deep and selling them cheap. Okay.
But anyways, I got over there. I did all my work, and they had a lot more requirements to even have a surgery than my first one did. Like, they made me do a lot more things. If you guys want me to talk about those things, and I'll maybe talk about them, or maybe I can type it out or something like that. But it was just different. Not that vast of a difference, but it was a difference of the things that they wanted me to do and compare. I was like, dang, I gotta do this, I gotta have this. They said it would take 4 to 5 hours. It took maybe 1 to 2 hours. It was a lot of girls. I don't know what all the girls got. And then we got scheduled for the next day, and I was the very first surgery, which was at 7 a.m. So I met with Dr. Freeman. He came in, and I already had, like, y'all, I was like, I'm on it this time. Like, I gotta start speaking up because I'm not doing this anymore. Like, I'm already terrified. Like, I'm terrified. So, and like I said, it is heavy Spanish speaking. So almost everyone there spoke Spanish. Some of them were bilingual. A lot of them were bilingual, but like especially working in customer service. But a lot of the girls that were actually getting service obviously also spoke Spanish, so they were able to do all that. But Dr. Freeman was a Caucasian male. So, anyways, I got back there, did all my. I think I did a P test when I first got there, and I was.
This woman is dim and not smart.
Stuff. That's everything else. Oh, y'all. Feel like I ain't breathe. Dr. Freeman came in. I finally met him. He was great. He was really, really nice. He knew what he was talking about. I showed him my exact before pictures, and he said, this is where it went wrong. And then he pointed out the same things I thought about after the fact. Like, this is how one boob is sitting. This is how this boob is sitting. This is how it should have been done. This muscle, blah, 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 probably has a blockage. And if it does have a blockage, I'm going to have to do a lot more work to move the muscle of this, all the type of stuff y'all don't care about. So we went over that. Hold on. Okay, sorry. So we went over that. We went over the different things, particular to my actual breast. And we did not decide a size. I just told him like I would like to go a little bit bigger because I do plan on continuing to gain the weight. So, and a lot of people also recommended. I didn't know because my previous doctor already had told me like she thought for my frame I should only be at the 225. If that's it, it's 225 or 255, whatever it is. Like I said, it's on the screen. So that's just kind of what I was told. So I went by that, and he asked me like to show the pictures of all of my surgeries. And when I woke up, everything was great, and I had a lot more downtime. It was extremely painful. Like, so that means I knew like he must have had to do a lot of work to fix it. He said, I don't know how damaged it is on the inside from how it was done before. So if it's a lot of damage, you may have a longer period of pain, like especially the muscle pain. And then we went over, like I said, everything that was pertinent for my actual breast. And the next day I came back from my follow-up where I was finally able to see what I looked like, and I got a card telling me exactly what my sizes were. So, yes, baby. I honestly, I can't remember which size they are now, y'all. I'm bad with these numbers, but I think it's 475 over here and 455, or 455 and 475. So that's the differences. But I will put it across the screen exactly what it was. But I was like, oh my gosh, fours? Like, wow, like I went up. Like, that's crazy to me. Like, I didn't even expect it to go up from 2 to 4. And then I already had my surgical bra before. So like I said, I will show you guys what I look like now, which is like this. Y'all can see. And I kind of open it just a little bit so y'all can kind of see just a little bit. The left side does hurt a lot more than the right side. The left side was
Girl, I just looked up 475 cc's equals 16.06 ounces, and 8 ounces equals a cup. So just imagine getting your measuring cup full and do a baggie of 2 cups of water, a little over 16 ounces of water. 2 cups of water sitting on your chest, okay? And 16 ounces equals a pound, right? So, girl.
Well, he did rip out both the scars because he said that off the bat, like, yeah, those scars have to go. Like, you should have absolutely no scarring if you follow my procedures. And sometimes your body just scars more than others, but that was what it was. And then we did follow up to find, because I asked him, like, okay, so when you went inside, like, what did you see? So I'm so happy that I did go ahead and just schedule it. Because once I realized Jory's birthday, we had scheduled her party and stuff. Like I told y'all, we planned all that stuff early in January. Like, my whole rest of the year was planned out. And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't want to have all these issues with my right boob bothering me, knowing I still need surgery, all these different issues, imperfections with my breast for my 30th birthday, for my daughter's birthday, like all the other stuff I got planned. I got a lot of stuff planned this year. So I was like, this is the only downtime I have, so I have to go ahead and get this in. So yes, like I said, I am satisfied with how they look. I have seen myself obviously outside of my surgical bra, and it's like night and day with my first procedure and this procedure. Like, they just look great. But like I said, I didn't do this for the aesthetics of it. I had no choice but to go in there because it saved my—
What do you mean? It looked like you had a fucking fist coming out of your chest. Of course, there's nothing like I said earlier, can we just call a thing a thing? Sis, you had your breasts were deformed. You had something crazy going on your chest, and you had to get it fixed. It was ugly. The doctor botched you and deformed you. I mean, for real, it did look horrible. Not only was there no symmetry, one was square and the other one was potato shape. It was awful.
I like pretty much being able to remove something that was it was like he said it was I don't even know the medical terms, y'all. I'm not a doctor, but it was some problems with why the left one the implant did not move down like it should have. There were some issues. I don't remember the medical terms that he used, so we're just gonna go with what we know,
The
y'all.
medical term was stay your ass at home. You should never have messed with what you had to begin with. That was what it was. It was a good case of sit your ass down.
Unless you're a doctor, you probably will understand it. So overall, like I'm really satisfied and I'm happy that I went ahead and plugged it out because he did say that I probably would have had complications moving forward because sometimes over time, like blood can clot and then it could cause even more issues in the way that it was not sitting
It could
past
have
my muscle
caused
or
dead.
whatever the
It
implant
could
was
have
doing
caused
past
dead
into
to
my
the
muscle.
head.
It was not healing properly, and he does suspect that time when it was bleeding profusely after I had my first procedure, that's kind of what caused it, since it was bleeding profusely. And why it started bleeding profusely, we'll never know. We can't go back in time, and I was not at the doctor for them to X-ray and examine. Once it stopped bleeding, the doctor said, she said, if it does not stop bleeding within a certain time frame, then go to the hospital. And it did stop bleeding within that certain time frame, so I didn't go to the hospital, and I didn't have any bleeding after that. And the scar pretty much did settle, but like I said, the scar was way below where my boob even was. Like it's so crazy, like it was way below where my boob even was. So she just knew, like we have no choice but to open that left one and see why the left one has not settled. It must be blocked by some blood or some excess blood or whatever all that stuff was. And then, like I said, for my own comfort and discomfort that I was feeling on my right one, I just thought it was in my best interest to just start all the way over. So like I said, you guys, plastic surgery is something that you really need to think about, because had I not had
Okay, I've had enough. All right, let's go over here. Let's hear someone who is kind of an expert at getting some mommy makeovers. There's a channel I really enjoy. I wanted you guys to hear the story of a surgery she got, and it was really like this time last year. I remember watching this, and it was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Okay, listen to it. Are we at the right part? Because I want so this is leading up to this is right before they're going for the surgery. Okay, let's just listen. I think she's waiting for the doctor to come into the room.
Of me that I can like use to post or whatever, because I don't think I'm gonna be able to get y'all no footage.
If you guys are watching, if you guys don't watch, this is Peyton Marie Charles. If you don't watch Peyton, start watching her vlogs right now. She's doing vlogs every day in June, and her daughter graduated. Her daughter went to the prom. Her daughter just came home. Her daughter was living with the dad and grandma in Chicago, and she's been through a lot. And she was so happy today because her daughter is home from Chicago and living with her now full time. So it's a good news report. She was so happy. And Peyton celebrated her 40th birthday this year. And she's very sweet. She doesn't mind getting a cosmetic procedure. And don't come for her in her comments about it because, she don't care. She's going to do what she wants to do. But this was a really good video because I want you guys to listen to about 5 or 10 minutes. Like this, she got some liposuction under her chin, and it was brutal.
I don't want to get sued. Like I make my money for me. I don't make
So
it
her
for the
doctor basically
picture.
made her sign like an
So
NDA, some sort of non-disclosure about pictures and discussing his techniques
they
and
do
things
it
like
in the
that. So,
clinic.
and basically like notifying her he will sue. So he doesn't play. But I haven't heard her talk anything else
But
about her
did he
procedure.
do? He
Okay,
went out of
listen. So she's in Mexico. She went on a trip with a friend who got, I don't know if she got the same procedure, but they both got procedures done together. They went together so they could convalesce together and travel together and all of the things, okay?
No, he stopped where you see that blood piled up. That's where he stopped.
I got a scar right there, but he went under it.
Shit, maybe he did.
Like
My
from
neck ain't
here.
as long as yours, so yeah, he did. No, girl, I don't know. I was really trying not to think about it. All right, guys, we are back at the room. As you can see, the time is 9:21. We have been in the clinic for 8 hours and 15 minutes because it took us 5 minutes to walk over here. I wanted to stop and get food. Courtney said her head hurting, so we just about to Uber Eats and chill in the room. I had to get a pain shot in my butt because this side of my face was so fucking swollen and sore. Like, them touching it had me screaming. It was very brutal.
That was you screaming?
Yeah, when they touched me, I was like, ah!
Yeah.
Yeah, that was me. All of the screams were me.
Oh
All
God.
of the moans and groans were me. Because y'all was over there quiet as a fucking mouse. I said, damn.
And then he like, get hurt. I'm like, yeah.
Well, as I was saying. So the surgery is you're wide awake for it. You feel every single thing. He does manual liposuction. He does not use a machine. So you feel it all, okay? And the needle that they use to numb you is so damn long.
I close my eyes.
You a motherfucking G. I'm telling you. You a G if you do this. You a G. You a gangster. I'm a whole gangster.
I'm gangster.
Like, I'm telling y'all, don't play with me. I'm a gangster out here for real, cuz this wasn't no joke. Rhinoplasty is definitely number one. This is number two.
Really?
And yeah, this was definitely number two. And being wide awake was very traumatic for me. I'm never doing another wide awake surgery again. You got to put me to sleep. I need general anesthesia. It's a must. It is a must. But we are all done. We're finished. I saw the after pictures and the results. It looks really good. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with scar tissue this time. And he tightened up. So I ended up getting a different procedure than I thought I needed. So, because I don't know if you guys have ever noticed in my videos, but when I laugh, my skin literally like ripples up right up in here because of the loose skin from previous lipos. And I've had several chin lipos. Well, I've had two, and then I had facial contouring. And when he did the neck and the facial contouring, he did it all together. And what I've been made to realize today by the doctor is that you're not supposed to do them both at the same time. When you do the neck, you do the neck. When you do the chin, you do the chin, and then you do the face. But my previous doctor, he did it all in one, so it left a lot of scar tissue and fibrosis, like a lot. A lot. Like, it's never supposed to be that much. It's never supposed to be that much. So I end up getting face tight, neck tight, and neck contouring. That cost $6,500. Originally my quote was $4,000, but because I really wanted him to focus on, like, when I smile, I don't want my skin to ripple up. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that really makes me look older than what I am just from not having that proper post-op care and the proper lipo from the previous lipo. So yeah, here we are, all done. And yeah. Now I'm gonna eat me some Reese's because I'm starving. I ain't had nothing to eat since earlier today. So I tried to order something that I felt I ain't have to.
The funny thing for me is that Peyton is really funny. It's not even just, some people are saying like brutally honest. She's just so cute with it. It's funny. You know what I mean? Like, something bad could really be happening, but she has such a way of just like being so cute about it. It makes you just smile and chuckle. You know what I mean? I really enjoy her. If you don't watch her channel, you got to, because I really love her channel.
I'm moving my mouth as much.
She is funny to me. What was bad was like for a week after she got home, it could have been like 2-3 weeks. I mean, she was walking around Dallas with a contraption on like this. I mean, first she had the bandages, and then she went to something else, but she was good. I mean, unlike the previous channel we were watching, who doesn't want to stay in the medical devices prescribed by the doctor, yet Peyton doesn't play with it. If they tell her to do something, she's going to follow by the book because she's serious about what she's getting done. She doesn't want just the procedure. She wants the results from the procedure. You know what I'm saying? You know that feeling after you get surgery and it's just kind of like, my God, please, can I get back? Please, I want to go back to yesterday. She could barely move her lips. Girl, you should have got some nice warm soup. Oh my goodness. I can only imagine. So this was the next. We're going to fast forward a little bit. I'll drop the link so you can watch this episode if you've never seen this.
At night for the next month. But for me, just with your face and your neck and chin lipo, that's too much.
That's exactly what I did.
That's exactly what I did. And I paid $3,800. I'm like, sure, for the next 3 months. Because I scar kind of bad. And I even keloid under the skin, so. Wow.
So they're in Mexico. I don't know where they are exactly, but they're somewhere not far from the Texas border because I don't know if they flew in or they drove in. I'm not sure, but apparently they were close enough from their hotel that they didn't need to Uber or taxi. Like she's walking back to the hotel. So it must be like adjacent. Like she said, not a far walk.
Look like a balloon. Alright, we're getting ready to head to the airport. I just took all my medication.
Okay, so they're heading to the airport. So they flew.
So I'm actually kind of drowsy. We have to walk across the border. We get taken to the border, but we still have to walk across the border, which is a pretty long walk when you're thinking about like not really wanting to be in the sun and
Having had surgery.
So I'm gonna go ahead and put the camera in my suitcase because I don't even feel like carrying my suitcase right now. So I'll talk to y'all when we get to the airport, or maybe even when I get home, because
you can see when you watch this on your TV at home and see the bruising of everything that she got done, girl, it's a lot. But a year later, if you won't even see any of this, she healed very well. But like I said, she's someone who goes for she gets a procedure done. There's a difference with going to get a procedure and not following the doctor's instructions, and then you're mad because the surgery doesn't turn out how you want, or you don't get the actual benefits of the surgery. You just basically had surgery and you're just like, oh, well, I had, and then, or you follow to the T the doctor's instructions and you get all the benefits and everything that comes with it. So that's the difference. That's the reason why I shared this video tonight, because I know some of you don't watch, but I highly recommend. I know we talk about a lot of what we like to, get a kiki off of, but this is like, if you want to know what I watch, I know a lot of you know some of what I watch. This is definitely some of what I watch. And like I said, she's doing a whole series this June and she's dropping videos every single day. And if you really want to get to know her and know some, a little bit of her story, I think a great place to start is where she started off at the beginning of the month, because she is a mom. Her daughter just turned 18. Her daughter just graduated from high school. She went to her prom. She loves her daughter quite a bit. It's called June Diaries. Exactly. Just go to her channel and just get started with like what she just dropped in like the last week or two. But she's been vlogging for a long time. She started out doing hair videos. And then I think like about 2 years ago, maybe almost 3 years ago, maybe, her audience was like, you should start vlogging. Because I think when I started watching her channel, she was just about to have or was just having her 1 year anniversary of vlogging. So now maybe she's into her 3rd year or something like that. I just remember one of the first videos I watched, she was like, it's my 1 year anniversary vlogging, guys. And I remember, I forget what else happened, but that was a memory from early on watching when she was still living in the apartment and was Airbnb out her and was getting her apartment set up to Airbnb it, and she bought the townhouse and all that other stuff. But anyway, guys, I'm going to let y'all go because I feel like it's getting late. And this was so much fun. And I really appreciate you guys. And I know a lot of you guys who turn out for these videos really enjoy these videos. And I did this for y'all. So no, you don't have to like give me it's not like, I'm just letting you guys know I do this because I mean, you guys really enjoy these videos and I do too. I think, I've got some very different audiences that really enjoy certain aspects of my content and some of you who enjoy all of it. And, I said, I really kind of like doing this at night a little bit because it's a little bit more fun and it's a little bit more laid back in the evening because I'm not worried about like, oh, it's car pickup time. It's this, that, and the third time. But yeah, Peyton is a channel I really enjoy. And the others we were just watching too for other reasons. It's a kiki, but yeah, check out Peyton and as she drops things that I think are interesting, I'll usually let you guys know, hey, go over there and check out Peyton's channel. Something interesting is going on. You guys need to check it out. But yeah, it's a good time to start watching her channel now. Because I know a lot of people are like, when you see a channel that has so much going on, you don't know where to start. Girl, just start. You know what I'm saying? Just start. Let's see. And I know Miss Corey started watching soon after I did. I know you like her channel a lot too. So yeah, I really didn't know her channel very much. But yeah, I started watching her a couple of years ago and I just love her channel. And I was really excited. All of you guys who watch Monroe Steele, gosh, I've been watching Monroe Steele for way, way longer. And when I realized like Monroe, like Peyton was a fan of Monroe and they finally met, that was so much fun. Seeing, them meet up and stuff like that. So that's always fun. And most recently she met up with Aaliyah's face and stuff like that. So anyway, we could talk about that another time. But I'm glad you guys came through tonight and we have I think we have talked this topic to death. And Keisha, I just hope that her surgery gave her what she wanted, but if it didn't, I'm sure we will hear all about it. Right, guys? Okay. I'm sure she'll be telling us all about it in videos to come. Okay. So you guys all have a good night. Is it Altravis Sandifer? Lovely name, Altravis. I feel like I've heard that name before. Or Altarise, something like that. But yeah, Altarise Sandifer, welcome. Thank you for coming through. Lulu, everyone, Serenity, Carolyn, you guys all have a wonderful evening. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Take care. Have a wonderful evening. And that's it. And that's all. Let's go ahead and get out of here.
By the way, friend, I respect you as a reactor. By the way, friend, I respect you as a reactor. By the way, friend, I respect you as a reactor. It's all about clout. I respect you as a reactor.